Nicole Lapin is a Northwestern grad who became one of the youngest anchors to appear both on CNN and CNBC. She also got her first financial reporting job right here at WCIU.
Now the New York Times bestselling author is helping women take care of their finances. Her latest book, Boss B, just hit store shelves this month. The book encourages women to be the boss of their career and themselves. Nicole joins us now with her
Yeah,
preview.
baby.
Good morning.
Good morning,
We're
guys.
calling it Boss B, but
there we go.
it's the actual word on the book cover.
It is the actual word. I'm taking back and owning it as a badge of honor. When I started here, my career 15 years ago, you know, other people called me a B word in a derogatory sense, but they just meant that I was aggressive, strong, had a voice at the table, not just a seat at the table. And if that means I was a B, then awesome. I'm a B, and I'm owning it as a badge of honor.
And that's probably why you wrote the book. I mean, it's like, look, I've learned this skill. This is who I am. And you see that other women maybe don't exemplify some of those characteristics that you think would be advantageous for them to have in the office.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I came here and I asked for a job in Milwaukee. And the head of the station was like, that's hilarious. We're not giving you a job in Milwaukee. Because I was like, I'm going to commute. I'm going to do everything. And they were like, do you know anything about business news? And I was like, I was 18 again. And I said, absolutely. I grew up in an immigrant household, first generation American, never like a Wall Street Journal on the kitchen counter. Nobody was like, Heidi ho, let's talk about stocks and bonds. So I was totally clueless. My boyfriend in high school said he wanted to be a hedge fund manager, and I thought the dude wanted to be in gardening. Like, that is no joke. That was how clueless I was. So I'm the least likely person to become a financial blah-de-blah anything. I was thrown on the floor of the Chicago Merc, and I realized that money and business is a language like anything else. We just don't learn this stuff in school. We don't have a Rosetta Stone. Like, why do we learn how to dissect a frog? I'm not entirely sure. If somebody knows, please write in. Please call in.
One day, maybe you need that skill or something.
Why do you need the Pythagorean theorem? I'm not exactly sure, but like doing a budget or doing your taxes or figuring out a business plan or negotiating for yourself, that's super important. So I wanted to write this book for my former self.
So what can people find in the book? Is it all about how to run your own finances, or is it how to kind of empower yourself in your career?
So my first book, Rich B, was all about personal finances, and this is about taking charge of your career in a simple 12-step plan. So it's divided into 3 sections: being the boss of you, being the boss within a bigger company, so you guys can be entrepreneurial here at WCIU, or being the boss of your own business. And women in particular go through different stages of those boss genres in our lives. Like, we could go from working for somebody else and being entrepreneurial there to starting our own business to becoming a mompreneur, and like all sorts of different permutations in between. But the constant is your own brand. That's the only thing that's portable.
So tell us about asking for that raise.
Oh
because
yeah,
that's
baby.
a really tough thing to do, and especially if you're kind of new on the job, but maybe you feel like you've proved yourself already and you're, you know, worthy of a raise. Tell us how you go about
negotiating.
negotiating.
Jackie, let's talk about this for 1 second.
Take notes, Jackie.
Yeah, I know. Can I?
Listen, 57% of men negotiate their salary. Jackie, how many you think negotiate your salary as a woman?
Oh, geez. See, this is another one of those trivia questions. 24%? That's just like
Getting oddly specific, but yeah.
7%.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
7% of women. Like, first of all, you can negotiate anything. You can negotiate your credit card APR. I don't know why people don't do that. That's bananas. You can negotiate your cell phone bill. You can negotiate your medical bills. You can negotiate all the things. It's your money. You might as well fight for it. Negotiating your salary is a no-brainer. If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that there is this difference between men and women? Because it does sound crazy to me. I try to negotiate my salary every single darn time it comes up. Like, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but
let's keep it real. I keep it super real about it.
I usually negotiate up to a certain point. I will, you know, if somebody offers me this, then I'm going to try to get up a certain amount. But then if you know, when they counter, I usually just let it lie right there. So I'll just accept whatever's countered.
So in particular, women have a problem talking about money. It feels taboo. We'll talk about everything at the dinner table, from like really personal things and like in the bedroom. But when we talk about our bank account, like, crickets. And so in my book, Boss B, I actually tell all my salaries. So I tell my salary at CNN, I tell my salary at CNBC. I tell you how much I made as my advance for both of my books because I put my money where my mouth is. If I'm asking women to do it, I will take it for the team. So one of the biggest tips for negotiating is having leverage.
Okay.
So even if you don't want to jump ship, putting a fire in your current captain's belly is one of the most surefire ways to get a raise. I have employees. It's super expensive to hire. And so it's time consuming as well. If you're an awesome employee, they'll probably throw you a bone versus losing you as an employee.
And it's a lot about the timing of the whole thing too, because you got to know what situation your company's in and what situation you're in personally too.
100%. It's like, why would you just pop into your boss's office and be like, hey, do you have 5 minutes? This is not a casual conversation. And by the way, I'm on a whole thing about women saying I'm sorry too much. We have like this I'm sorry epidemic. And so it's not like, hey, I'm sorry. Can I ask you a quick question? No, no, no. This is one of the most important conversations you're going to have in your career. So set a meeting, set a calendar invite. You know, it's not Friday afternoon when everybody's thinking about cocktails.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not Monday morning, but maybe after you got an amazing evaluation, awesome time to do it. Not after the company got dismal earnings reports.
Right.
But really set a meeting and also come in prepared.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to go full on Tracy Flick, but I don't understand like why people don't come out with, you know, evidence of what they've done for the company. Create a presentation. You do that for so many other aspects of your career. You do full-on PowerPoints and graphs and charts. Like, do that when you're coming into this meeting. Bind it. Give one to your boss so you can both follow along. You know, come up with those graphs and talk about how your contributions have helped the company at large.
Yeah, I think having, you know, like that evidence and just being able to point to a few things is always helpful for people. Where can people find your book? I mean, people are probably watching, they're like, I want to raise right now. Where can I get it
And
at?
you also want to think about your overall compensation package. That's the last thing I'll say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, and people don't think about this. So sometimes asking for Fridays working from home or getting your cell phone bill paid for or whatever could be better than base salary. It could be more valuable to you. But yes, you can find Boss Me all the places books are sold. So
she can't hold up the book right now because it has the swear word on it. Yeah,
but
exactly.
yes, I'm sitting on the lovely desk like a boss.
This is awesome stuff. Thank you so much. And again, her new book is called Boss B, and it's available online and in bookstores. It's a good read for anybody. And don't forget, Nicole is taking part in the investor panel for the National Association of Women Business Owners.
Come hang out with me.
Yeah. Do you have cocktails there?
Obviously.
Okay. So she'll be signing copies of the book tonight starting at 5:30. Log on to nabu.org.